We're looking at the year ahead with our next guest. What does he expect for the precious metals, and will the mining stock super bubble finally come? Doug Casey is a commodities expert and the founder of Casey Research. He joins us now from Argentina. Doug, thanks for being with us on the special edition of the Gold Report.
A pleasure, Danielle. And I heard your question, and the answer is gold and commodities in general have been in a bear market, very serious bear market for 4 years. And when will it end? It's impossible to pick a bottom to these things, but the lower something goes, the closer we are to the bottom. So since I view gold as a vehicle for savings, I continue buying it, because where else are you going to put your money today in a zero interest rate environment? These governments are asking for an all-out catastrophic credit collapse. So I don't know where else to go.
Well, Doug, let's take a closer look at the mining space. You know, we've seen at Freeport, Anglo American just slash jobs and cutting dividends. And last time we spoke, you did mention that we should be gearing up for a super bubble in the sector. So do you think it's going to come in 2016?
Yeah, well, that's a $64 question. But, you know, at the same time as I've been calling for a super bubble in the mining stocks, assuming gold takes off, as I think it will, I've been saying for years that mining is the worst business in the world. It's a stupid business. It's a 19th century choo-choo train business that is eventually going to radically change its entire nature in the future. And that's happening now with everything from nanotechnology to biotechnology to extract gold from seawater and space technology with asteroids and so forth. So it's embarrassing being associated with the mining business, but everything's cyclical. Yes, it will turn around, and I hope this is the year.
All right. Well, also, you mentioned gold. There is negative sentiment in the metal sector. The metal is roughly down 10% year to date. Do you think that there's enough physical demand heading into 2016 that could help sustain prices here?
Look, what makes sense to me is that central banks in Russia and China and other places in the Orient are buying gold rapidly with the dollars that they have. Who wants to hold dollars at this point when you're charged money to keep the dollars, and the dollar itself is nothing but a floating abstraction, which is eventually going to reach its intrinsic value of approximately zero. So yeah, it's gloomy, it's grim right now for gold, but there's no other place to be. The stock market is grossly overpriced. Bonds are in a historic super bubble. Real estate in all the major cities in the world is in a bubble. I don't know where you can go right now.
Well, Doug, let me ask you, with the strong dollar at play, do you think sub $1,000 gold is a possibility?
Well, anything's possible. Never say never. But my opinion is, if it's not the bottom, it's close enough to the bottom. So I have to be an aggressive buyer of both gold and silver at this point. If only, and I'll repeat this, because there are no other alternatives. Remember, gold is the only financial asset that's not simultaneously somebody else's liability. And everything else in the financial world is grossly overpriced, including the dollar itself. So yeah, you have to buy gold.
All right. Well, finally, Doug, I want to get your thoughts on the U.S. presidential election. How do you expect this to play out? What do you think is the most pressing issue that U.S. officials should be focused on in 2016?
Look, all of these people are horrible. Every one of the Republicans, every one, with the exception of Rand Paul, they're all pathological warmongers. They're extremely dangerous people. All of them are. But on the other hand, Hillary Clinton, the likely Democrat, is even worse. So by this time next year, I expect the economy to be back well into the Greater Depression. And my God, any choice that the American electorate makes is going to be the wrong one. Really a bad situation.
Well, grim outlook.
I feel much better here in Argentina, where they kicked out the criminally insane Cristina Kirchner, and there's now somebody who's reasonably intelligent in this country. So I feel better in Argentina than the U.S., if that gives you an idea.
All right, Doug, thanks so much for your thoughts. Thanks for joining us, and happy holidays.
Pleasure, Danielle.
And thanks for watching this edition of Kitco News' Outlook 2016. We'll have more for you throughout the week. Thanks for watching.